one hand in the lower abdomen, one hand on the chest, and take a moment to first find your breath, putting our attention on it, turning the autonomic, sort of subconscious breathing into conscious, intentional breathing. So slowing the breath down, letting the belly puff out, letting the inhale rise up through the rib cage into the chest. And then exhale, letting the chest sink down, the ribs pull in, and the belly pull in. Feeling the rise and fall as the breath comes in and goes out. Maybe the sound of the air as it crosses through the nasopharynx, and you exhale out through the nose and hear the ocean-like sound as we inhale and exhale. And drop your arms down, and we'll continue a little bit of movement on the breath. So this is called soaring eagle. So we're just going to inhale and turn back here a little bit. Inhale the arms out to the sides, all the way above your head, and then crisscross your wrists so that your palms touch. You can see that. So your wrists are sort of intertwined and rounded around one another. And then exhale, letting the arms come back down, nice and slow. And then again, slowly inhale. The arms float up, stretching up, crisscrossing the hands so the palms touch. And then slowly exhale. We'll just continue for a few rounds at your own pace. Just a nice, slow inhale. Maybe pause at the top of the inhale and then exhale. Feeling that little stretch of the rib cage, maybe gives a little more space to take in a little more breath. One more time. Inhale. And exhale all the way back down. And let's just pause here for a moment. Maybe feeling a little more spaciousness for the chest, for your breath. And then open your eyes if they're closed, and let's go right into knocking on the door of life. Turning from the hips and the legs, starting to awaken in the body. Inhale, exhale. You want to turn and look over your shoulder. And give a little stretch all the way up to the base of the skull. Travel up just below the collarbone. and all the way up to the top of the shoulders. Starting to loosen up some of those areas of tightness, descending some of that frenetic energy you might have accumulated, letting it start to unlock, come back down below the collarbone. And then back down to the waist. And then start to unwind, and let's transition into water waves. Just feeling the balancing, right? The more yang version knocking on the door of life, and then the yin version, water waves. So active and more passive, we're balancing both to achieve a good nervous system level of homeostasis. And then start to unwind. Let's pause here for a moment. Okay, and let's go into a wider stance. What's that? Oh, I'm gonna move up a little bit so you can see me. Yeah. Let's go into a wider stance. Hands on the thighs, just above the knee. And let's go into some twists. So we're gonna turn to the left, dropping the right shoulder down, look over your left shoulder. And let's just pause here for a few rounds of breath. Feeling maybe on the inhale that you can gain a little more extension. Think about your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head, that line of energy. And that on the inhale, we can create these micro movements of space. And then when we exhale, maybe you can go gently into the twist a little bit deeper. All right, I have a pooch with me. Deep breathing. Looking over the shoulder, inhale and exhale. And then inhale to the center, and then drop your left shoulder down, looking over your right. Think about wringing out your spine very gently. As we twist, we create a little bit of that tension, and then let's inhale to the center. And when we inhale, a whole new flood of fluids, cerebral spinal fluid and blood come into the areas of the vertebrae. And now let's move on the breath. So we're going to exhale to the left, and then inhale to the center, and then exhale to the right. And then inhale to the center. Just on your own breath, we're just moving very gently back and forth, allowing the spine to start to loosen up. Just creating space, right, for chi to flow. And on the next inhalation, let's come to the center. And then with bent knees, let's just fold forward. So the crown of the head reaching towards the earth. You keep your knees as however you need to be so that you don't feel any strain in your hamstrings. So if you need to bend your knees more deeply, that's totally fine. Feeling your head creating a little bit of traction for your spine to loosen, to elongate, to decompress. And then very slowly, you can grab one wrist with an opposite hand and very slowly you're going to roll all the way up. So imagine you're stacking your vertebrae one on top of the other and your head comes up last. Reach up and then exhale your arms all the way down. And let's come to hands together at the center of our chest, heart to the sky. So let's inhale, this arms separate, look up. And then exhale back to the center. And then inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And okay, let's bring the feet to a narrower stance again. And let's do a little work for the head, neck, and shoulders. So we'll do the two variations of spreading the feathers. One where we gather energy from in front and we extend the fingers down so the palms face the back. And the second one, we gather from the back, spiral the hands in so the palms face forward. So we'll start. We're going to inhale and spread the arms in front like you're gathering in, pull in towards the body, and then extend the fingers down towards the earth. And we'll do that 2 more times. So inhale and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. So we're going to stay here for a moment. So the fingers are extending towards the earth, palms facing behind us, and let your head tilt over to the left. Imagine using your breath like little beams of sunlight, melting any of these areas of tension, like we're melting ice to water. And then maybe letting your head roll to the back of the shoulder on the inhale, and then very gently to the front of the shoulder on the exhale. And on the next exhalation, just let your head roll to the center, and then very gently, let's bring it over to the opposite shoulder. Noticing if one side feels tighter than the other. This is so much more tight for me. And then very gently, again, on the inhale, let's roll the head to the back of the shoulder, and then exhale to the front. Imagine that all that tension is melting, right, and seeping down your arms, through your palms, to the fingertips, and just dripping to the earth. And on the next exhalation, let your head come to the center. Let's drop your arms down for a minute. Let them hang nice and loose. And close your eyes for a minute. Just maybe noticing a little tingling running down your arms. As things free up, space is created for chi to flow, for blood to flow. And now the alternate side. So we start this time, we're gathering behind us. So we're going to extend the arms behind, spiral your hands in so your palms end up facing the front of the room, and then extending the fingers towards the earth. So again, gather behind, spiral the hands in, and then extend your hands down. And then again, inhale, spiral in, and then let's pause here. So you might feel already a little bit of stretch or tightness in the forearms. And then let's let the head tilt over again to the left. And similarly, using the breath, allowing the head to very gently roll back and forth over your shoulder. And then exhaling, just letting everything melt. Down the arms, through the hands, and then drip from the fingertips to the earth. And then on the next exhalation, let your head come to the center and then over to the opposite shoulder. And then inhale, head gently rolls back, and then exhale forward. You might notice with this position, you have tightness in your jaw, in the front of your neck, up into the ear. You might notice that this iteration where we're stretching the front of the arms, the tightness is apparent in slightly different locations. And then exhale, let the head come to the center, let your arms drop down. Okay, so let's do a little bit of chi massage. Specifically, we'll be doing a couple of flows that have to do with our wei, W-E-I, wei chi, which is sort of like our exterior boundaries, kind of overlaps with the immune system. But, you know, I love doing the inner four gates, about 3 finger breaths from the wrist crease up. On the inside of the wrist is pericardium 6, and the corresponding point on the outside of the forearm is Sanjiao 5. So those two together are really great for our physical immune system and then for our emotional immune system and healthy boundaries. We're going to take those 2 points and knock. Really good too if you're a little creaky in your wrists or you have carpal tunnel. Right. Creating some healthy movement and space and blood flow. Or if you have poor circulation in general, or Raynaud's, this is great. And then let's change so the opposite hand is in front. And again. Stand up. And then let your arms drop down for a moment and let's just close the eyes. Noticing any sensations as we free up areas of stagnation or blockages. And let's continue with chi massage through the whole body. So let's start with sternum. So we're just going to knock gently with loose fists. And then we're going to travel down the center of the sternum to the solar plexus and then back up a couple of times. And then let's come over to the front of the right shoulder. The area, I love this area, the area of the lungs, our immune system. And then let's travel down the inside of the arm, down past the elbow, forearms, to the fingertips, and then travel the outside of the arm back up the shoulder. And again, down the inside. And then up the outside. And one more time. And then let's come across now to the opposite shoulder. And let's travel down the inside. And then up the outside. With the yin channels, travel down the inside of the arm. And the yang channels and the meridian theory travel up the outside of the arm. Back up to the shoulder. And then let's come to the center of the chest again. And then let's travel down to the solar plexus. You just ate, like we did. Just be gentle. And then let's travel below the belly button. Then let's travel to the low back. All around the door of life, also called the Ming Men. It's that point right at the center of the spine, sort of right below where the kidneys are. And then let's travel down the back of the legs, all the way to the feet. And then up the inside of the legs. Back up to the hips. And then again. And one more time. Stay here in the hips for a moment and let's make it a little percussive. So bending and straightening. This is the season of winter, hips, low back. These areas tend to need a little more love when it's cold and things get a little even more stagnant in the lower half of the body. So awakening this gate, the gate from the torso down through the hips and legs. Now let's do the sides. Hips. And then just in front of the navel or on top of the navel. And then release and close your eyes. You might find a little more vibration. Right? We're literally waking up our energy, our chi, our vital life force. And then let's just shake everything out. Shake it all out. So we'll do some, if you'd like to incorporate the sounds again, we're going to inhale, sound of the lungs. Let's do that again, same. The lungs. And now the kidneys is that sh. So inhale. Exhale. And again. And inhale. The liver is a sh. The heart. Inhale. And the spleen is again. finally, the triple burner is and again. And start to slow down and pause. Feeling all of that vibration. Right, we're like our little organs are instruments, and we're going through each and tuning them individually so they all sound cohesive together. And then let's open your eyes. And the first flow is called Greeting the Sun, since we've already transitioned from the solstice, so now we're gaining light, right? Let's greet the sun as we slowly gain more daylight. So we'll start. This is going to be, it's a little bit of a weight shift and sort of like moving from right to left. So if you want to just watch a few rounds first, we'll start with the palms facing up. And then we're going to turn slightly to the left. And you're going to take the right hand forward, like you're scooping something up. And then all the way up. And as I scoop up, transition the weight to the back foot. And then you're going to push forward that same side. So the weight shifts to the front foot. All right. And then you're going to turn to the center. And as we do, your right hand comes back down. And now your left hand is going to scoop up. A big circle, transition the weight to the back foot. And then you're going to push forward. Right? And then just turn now to the opposite side. So the hands will always end up coming back down to the sides with your palm facing up as we transition. So again, the right arm is going to reach forward and scoop up. A big circle, and then you're going to push forward. So we scoop and then push, and then turn nice and slowly. Right, so now that right hand comes down towards your waist, and then your left hand comes forward, and we scoop, pull back, and then push forward. And then slowly turn right hand. So scoop, pull back, so the weight shifts back, and then pushing forward, the weight shifts again to the front foot. And then slowly come to the center, and then scoop, pull back, and then push forward. And nice and slowly come to the center. Scoop. Think about scooping up that sunlight, pouring it through your body, right? And then we're able to move forward with small little doses of sunlight that we have to get us through the winter. So we're scooping up, pouring in, right? And then we're pushing forward with that inner fire. And we turn and scoop. So the breath now. So we're just inhale as we come to the center. And we start scooping. And then we exhale as we start to push forward. And then slowly come to the center. And we inhale. Exhale. Push forward. Inhale to the center. Scoop. Pour up over the body. And then push forward. Yeah. And then inhale to the center. Right, so think we're scooping something up from the earth, or maybe at a wellspring, pouring the water over, and then we're hydrated, we have fire, we're pushing forward with vitality. Inhaling, and then exhaling. Coming to the center, and then inhale, pouring, exhale. few more times. Inhale. And then we're gently pushing forward. Exhale. To the center. Scoop. Pull back in. And exhale. Let's do one more to each side. Coming to the center. Inhale. And exhale. And then last one. Scoop. Push. And now let's just come to the center in our chi ball for a moment. Generating that inner fire, that inner light. Imagine you're holding this brilliant ball of golden light. So now that we have stoked that inner fire, we'll go into a flow that's all about using that inner fire, inner light, right, to develop our good boundary system and our Wei Qi. So this is a crisscross flow, but we'll be exhaling all the way down from the ceiling to the earth. So we're going to inhale and crisscross the hands as you bring your hands all the way up above your head, and then separate the hands and then exhale all the way back down. And crisscross. Inhale. And exhale. So this is that posture of protection, right? We're building our little energetic bubble of protection, right? And then we're extending it to the sides, front, and back of the body. Inhale. And then exhale. So as we inhale, imagine, right, as the arms crisscross, right, there's this beautiful golden light that's starting to fill up in front. And then as we exhale, we're letting that golden light come down beside us and even behind us. Like a little beautiful cocoon. Enveloping yourself in this beautiful golden light that's nourishing and protecting at the same time. Even within the flows, you can see the slight dance of yin and yang. Everything's relative, right? So even within the different parts of class, right, we start with more activating yang poses to cleanse and clear. And then we go into the flows, which is more yin, but even within, just like the yin yang symbol, right? We can move through flows that have that same relationship. One's maybe a little more activating, one a little more calming. And let's come into the standing posture, embrace the tree for a moment. So you're gonna stand with your arms in a circle. Just make sure that your knees are bent enough that you feel stable, and that your hips are over your ankles and your shoulders are over your hips. And just imagine that golden light is completely surrounding you. As an embrace, we're creating this posture that we call embrace the tree, but visualizing that beautiful golden light surrounding you like a warm embrace. And then let's lower the hands to lower embrace the tree. And then we're going to turn to the left. And let's go into tree sways in the wind. So let's inhale. So the hands trace the inner and outer leg, the sides of the body, and all the way to the crown of the head. The back of the fingers come together, come to the center, and then exhale all the way back down. Same posture. And then over to the right. And inhale, scooping up from the earth to the crown of the head. And then exhale. And then turning to the left. And inhaling up from the earth, coming to the center, and then letting that energy spill up and out, and all over you, and then over to the right. Moving nice and slowly. Right, like we're moving through water. We're just inhaling, the arms just float up. And as we come to the center, the arms just float and glide back down. Inhale. Back of the fingers come together above the head, come to the center, and then exhale all the way out. And inhale. Enter and exhale. And turn. Inhale. Into the center. And exhale. A few more at your own pace. Letting the movement move through you with ease. Just gliding through space. And let's exhale back into our QiGong. So moving the hands gently back and forth. And then drop your arms down. And let's inhale the arms down, around, and up. And the hands float back down on the exhale. Inhale. And one last time, let's inhale. And then on the exhales, bring the feet together. The hands float back down, one hand on top of the other, and let's close the eyes if that feels okay for you. Just feel your feet and the earth beneath the feet. And that root structure energetically keeping us anchored. And feeling the slight movements of the body back and forth, making some micro adjustments intuitively. But with ease and grace. Micro course corrections that are part of the journey. Your eyes open. Thank you, everyone.